Alright, so I got a new project here. Got a Honda 50cc engine off a Z50, 3-speed automatic clutch. It's on a mobility scooter. Fits quite nice, actually. The only thing that the stock cover doesn't clear is actually the carb and air filter when it's on is actually too high. And then the seat post, the original seat post was right in the middle, right underneath the engine here, round post that went up. So after I get the engine all welded in, I'm going to make a new post. There's a square bar that goes across there. I'm going to make a post that'll come up and over the top. And then I'll weld the original post onto that bar. I'll shorten it up, but I'll weld that back on. Engine mount, there's 4 threaded holes in the bottom of the case. It's flat with 4 threaded holes for the kickstart, or the kickstand. I'm going to make a flat plate that goes on there, and it's going to go the whole way across the front and weld onto that flat, or the square bar that goes across. Then I'll have 2 braces come up. There's bolt holes right here on either side. Can't see it because the light in here sucks. There's 2 threaded bolt holes on either side of the head. And I'm going to have a bar that will go up and tie onto that. I'll have the flat bar across the bottom. And then it'll come up the back. And then I'll make a mount that goes in here. And then a mount that goes in the mount at the back. Then I'll weld it across. I'll weld it across the back here somewhere. Probably like right at this edge right here. Weld it right across the back. Or maybe even weld it into the square hole here on each side. Actually, I'll probably weld it into that square hole there on each side, go across the bottom. The shifter, I'm going to bend it out, and then, I'll turn it so it goes up. I'll bend it out, so it'll come out, and it'll go up, and I'll make a linkage. It'll go the whole way to the front, and I'll have a pedal at the front to shift it. There's no clutch cable. The only cable going to the front is going to be the throttle. I'm just going to use like a bike brake lever or something for the throttle. The Kickstarter, I'm just going to leave it hanging out of the back. Like right there. I'm going to cut this bar out. Goes the whole way across. I'm going to cut it off. The drive system, I'm going to cut this cover so then I can run a chain straight down. I'll have a jack shaft going across the back. Use like a 3/4 inch jack shaft. I'll have a bearing on each side. And I'll have a sprocket on that shaft that's the same size as this sprocket that's on here. Then I'll have the brake disc on that shaft. And I'll mount the brake caliper somewhere on the frame. And then the axle itself will be a 3/4 inch like go-kart axle. And I'm going to use these hubs that I already have for the wheels. They're 2 13/16 is the center-to-center spacing on those. I can get 13-inch tall go-kart wheels and tires that'll fit these hubs. They're 3/4 inch shaft with a key. Just going to use these like a go-kart axle. Probably sit out. Probably get like a 36 inch axle. Cut it down to 30 or 32 inches. Just use bearing blocks. Put bearing blocks under here because there's already 2 bolts that go in there. Just put bearing blocks right there on either side. I have a sprocket up in the shed. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. That sprocket I have is probably almost as big as these wheels are, so it's probably a little bit too big. It's probably about that big. Right there. That's probably too big. So I probably won't use it. But yeah, I'll just have a jack shaft going across, have a chain, have a sprocket and the brake on the jack shaft. Sprocket's going to be the same size as this one. And then the drive sprocket to the axle is probably going to be either the same size as this one or maybe a little bit bigger than the actual sprocket on the axle itself. is probably going to be, I don't know, maybe a 4-inch, 3-inch or 4-inch. I think these are 4-inch rims. 4-inch, yeah, they're 4-inch. So probably about the same size as that rim. One I have is too big. The engine itself, it's 50 cc's right now. It's not going to stay that way. It's either going to be 88 cc's, or I may go and get the whole kit to make it 117. But that's a stroker kit, so I'd have to take the whole engine apart, new crank, all that. The 88 cc kit's just the cylinder. I may just do that, may just replace the cylinder, put a new cam in it, bigger carb, get a different exhaust for it, just get the main header pipe off like an aftermarket one, because it's about twice as big as that stock one. The stock one's tiny, like not even an inch. Get an aftermarket one, just run a straight piece off, straight out the back. But yeah, I can buy everything I need. The only thing I have to make is engine mounts. Everything else I can buy. All the axles will be 3/4 inch. I can get all the hubs and sprockets. Already have the hubs for the wheels. I have both of them. They were actually on the scooter. When I got it, they actually went on the motor. And they have the right bolt spacing and everything for go-kart wheels. So I'll just use those. I'm not going to have to do a whole lot. Just make the engine mounts. Like I said, I'm going to cut this bar out. I need to get a coil for this. It's probably going to convert it to CDI, because it's non-CDI right now. It actually has points. 6-volt electrics. I'm not going to use any of that stuff anyway. It's just going to bolt on. The only thing that's going to be going to it is the throttle cable. It's not going to have anything else. The coil will just mount on the engine somewhere. Probably make a mount that goes off of the engine mount I'm going to make here to mount the coil. When I make the engine mount, it's going to make the whole back of this frame stronger. But the other thing I'm going to have to do is the frame itself has this lever right here. And if you pull up on that, the whole back of the frame actually swings down, and this whole back piece from this bar back actually comes right off. So I'm either going to have to weld that together, or I don't know. I'll probably just weld it. It's like right there's a seam right there, just weld it. But the engine mount, I'm going to cut this down flush. I'm going to have a flat plate that comes back, like where these blocks of wood are. It's going to be a flat plate. It's going to bolt to the bottom of the engine. Then the mount itself is going to come up the back and go up around to the rear mounts. And then it'll have them 2 bars that'll come up at the front. It'll bolt onto the bolt holes on the side of the cylinder. So there's bolt holes right there. One on each side. It'll bolt to that. And then I'm going to have like a bar that's going to come across the inside of here. It's going to go straight across. Just to make the mount a little bit stronger. I'm going to make the whole back of this stronger. And then the jack shaft is going to just bolt on here on each side, go straight across. Then the axles, or the bearing blocks for the axles, are just going to go on the bottom, right on the bottom of there. And that's about it. Not going to take a whole lot to get it going. I can buy everything I need. Front end's only single wheel. I'm going to have to make an axle for that, so it's 2 wheels. I don't want to run one. It'll just flip over as soon as you go around a corner. But yeah, I'm probably going to start making stuff up here soon. Mounts and everything. Just going to kind of accumulate parts as I get them. I'm not in too much of a hurry to build this, because it's still March here, so it's still cold, but it's supposed to start getting warm. It's supposed to be 70 for the next week. So, I don't know. I'll work on it, make a video soon.